I was just doing it purely for fun, for my own sake, and it just didn't dawn on me as being anything very special. But when the publicity started to kick in, I must admit I was a bit concerned, because had I come on air and said, "Hang on a bit, I failed," it would have made the interview very short, wouldn't it?
It would. Why did you choose to put yourself through what I would only regard as the stuff of bad dreams, which is having to go back and sit another exam?
But let me say that, first of all, it's something that really, I've spoken to so many people since I've started who said, "I hate maths, just like you. I've never got on with it. I've never bothered to do it properly." And something came through the door from Compton Village College in August last year to say, "Come and do a maths course." And I can remember vaguely that I did one in 1946. And I thought, well, why not have a go now and see if I can still do it? Because when you get to a certain age, you're not doing quite so much gardening. And what do you get up to in the evening? You sit in front of television, doze around, you don't remember what you even saw on television. And I thought this would give me a chance to exercise my brain a little bit and have a go. But if you're one of those people that hate maths, why don't you individually, Neil, you're a good example. Why don't you take the exam, have a go? Because when you're learning from these conditions, when you want to go along, you're not doing it as a child. You're going along in your own time, and you get a modern teacher, somebody who's a bit different from possibly the teacher that you had. You start right from the word go. It really is the word go. 3 plus 9. Well, okay, I can cope with that. 3.5 plus 9. Well, it gets a bit more difficult. 3 take away 9. Well, we get a bit more difficult still. But it does really start early, and then it takes you through stage by stage, and you might, at the end of it, turn around and say, "I understand a little bit about maths," because it opened my eyes to understanding, as opposed to just going through the motions.
It's funny you should say that, because in much more recent years, I have thought that I can now finally appreciate what maths is for. I either read somewhere or somebody said to me in the recent past that maths is the language that the universe speaks. And that resonated with me. Someone said to me, if you can speak maths, you can understand so much more about how everything else works. And I do feel inspired, actually, almost to follow in your footsteps and pick it up again.
That'll be great if you'll do that. You'll be my first convert. You certainly get a much better understanding doing it a second time, because with the typical memory, you do this test, you go through the syllabus, and most of the stuff you have done before. And even though it's donkeys years ago, you think, sort of remember that there was such a thing as a simultaneous equation, quadratic, sort of vaguely.
Oh, you're frightening me.
You didn't really understand what you were doing. But now
you said simultaneous equation there, and I felt my blood run cold. I need finally to ask you one last question before I let you go. Will you be taking any more exams? Are you going to study? Are you going to go back to school again?
No. I've reached the peak. I've really got to the top. And I think that's enough for me. Okay. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, though. I've met some nice people on the course, and Compton Village College were very good to me. They were very supportive, and the local authority has sent these leaflets round. They've sent them round again this year. And when I've spoken to people and said that people know what I've done, they say, "Oh, we got one of those things through, we put it straight in the bin." What a shame. Here's a chance that the local authority offering you something, and we're not, as the general public, taking it up.